Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you, it might not. All right, so I feel like somebody here from your deep past is getting their karma in some way and they're really, really missing you. Something has just happened to this person where I feel like they realized what they had in you, and it's something where the shoe is on the other foot. So if this is your message, I feel like you and this person had a lot of love for each other. I feel like it was very playful, very happy. Your personalities really clicked. But I feel like this person could have cheated on you, or there was something here in this person's blind spot. And that reminds me of a reading that I just recorded, and you probably have already heard it. So if you're making a connection to that reading, I think that's probably true. If not, don't worry about that. But basically, I think this person was actually very sincere in regards of their feelings towards you. And I don't know if that's something that you believe or if that's something you know or not, because I think this person kind of ruined things when they lied or they cheated or they were trying to hide whatever it was. And for some of you, it might not have been a cheating situation. It might not have been a person. It could have been like a lifestyle or some kind of habit or an addiction, something here like that they didn't want you to know. And they were justifying that to themselves because they knew in their heart and they felt like that was enough for them to know and not for them to behave in a way that ensured that you knew that they really did love you and that it really was real between the two of you. The chemistry, the personality, the way that they felt about you, all of that really was real. It was just this other part of themselves. And they would tell themselves that you would never find out and what you didn't know didn't hurt you. And there could have been, especially if this was cheating, there could have been a little bit of like, what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander kind of thing. And if this is a man, I feel like there's an assumption that I feel like is incorrect that's also being checked in this karmic justice movement here, that men cheat and women don't, or it's like normal for men to cheat, or it's not a problem when men cheat because it's just the way that they're built and they're just this way and they're just that way, and it makes them immune from having to be disciplined and having to not be a hypocrite and having to actually fulfill the morals that they believe in. And and I think that they feel like wrongly that it's not a part of like a female's nature to want something else or to and some women will actually act on it. And the numbers are actually showing that in the research now, that women's cheating is catching up to men's cheating, because a lot of those numbers back in the day were influenced by, like, if a woman did cheat, then a lot of times she lost everything and there was no way for her to kind of rebuild certain things. So there was this, I don't know if you'd call it an incentive, like extra incentive for women not to cheat, or an extra fear, an extra restriction that society kind of placed on her that is no longer there. And so we're actually seeing that it's maybe more human nature. It's not necessarily more in a man's nature or a woman's nature. It's kind of human nature to contend with those feelings at some point. And it's something else maybe that makes up the difference as to whether a person acts on that or whether they don't. It's not their gender, kind of a thing. So I feel like they're contending with that, because I feel like this person, when they treated you whatever way that they treated you in the past and made whatever decision, because I do feel like there was some kind of karmic decision, they split off from the timeline between the two of you. Because I think that you were a little more advanced than this person. Like, you were a little better than this person, like in your intentions and being in a relationship, and you were a little more upright or moral, not in a way that makes you a square, but just, and I feel like this person could have gone on the journey with you, and that's how they were going to get more introduced to that perspective, and they would get to participate in that in a more productive way. But whatever they did, what they did, and you found out in whatever way that you did, and it made you feel like your whole relationship was a lie, or that you couldn't trust this person, and they went off on like a different karmic path. And I feel like the universe basically gave this person what they gave to you, and it's put the shoe on the other foot. And it could have been what they gave to you, or it could have been what they intended. Because I think for some of you, even if it was like subconscious or this person didn't want to admit this to themselves, I think they felt like what you had was special, and that there's no way that you would ever throw that away, even if you found out about like one of their transgressions or something like that. And so they intended to kind of keep that hidden from you and not be truthful about who they are and what they did or what they were doing, and allow you to make your own choice. And they kind of planned on proceeding and getting you more and more entangled in a situation. Like, what I mean is, getting married, having kids, getting the house, stacking more and more things on your plate that will kind of advantage them. So even if you ever did find out about it, and even if this person stopped that behavior, because like I said, there is a sincerity here to this person, that they kind of felt like they were essentially, what I think they were doing is they were basically stacking the odds in their favor, but they were taking it off the table that you would really ever want to break things off with them permanently. They were trying to do that, but they were doing that. It's sneaky behavior, right? So I think they got involved with a person like that. And whereas there was some sincerity to this person's feelings towards you, like they actually did love you very much. They actually did recognize that there was like a strong bond between the two of you. They like your personality and things. I don't think that's necessarily true between them and their partner, because another thing that's mirrored in this situation is I think they're basically you in that situation where they're a little more advanced than this karmic that they got with in some way. They're a little bit more upright in character. And that might surprise you. And for some of you, I feel like this person could have grown up, or they could have grown tired of their old ways of being. And so they were like, okay, now I'm deciding that I'm going to be the good person, like when it's on their terms. And it's still a very selfish move, right? Because they just didn't want to give you what you needed in that relationship, because they weren't ready to like invest. So they got with a karmic that kind of, now they're in your position. And that, this is what I'm saying, is like, it feels to me like the shoe is on the other foot, or it will be on the other foot, or it has been. Like this is this karmic path basically, where they're a little bit better than this karmic. And I don't think this karmic is actually all that sincere towards them and their feelings, because I'm getting the sense of this karmic being a very good mimic. And I used to pick up on that on my channel all the time. And we all know what society expects of us, basically, especially in a gendered way. That's what it feels like. And so I feel like this karmic that they ended up with is just a really good mimic. They know what they're supposed to be. So this feels like in a generalized sense. I'm not necessarily getting that they mimic a certain person, although they might, but I'm just kind of getting like, they know the way in which they're kind of supposed to come off. And I'm so this basically the shoe's on the other foot, and that this karmic has a blind spot, that they're keeping something here in this person's blind spot is what I mean. And they take that same attitude towards your person here that your person took towards you in the past. Oh, what they don't know won't hurt them. But I think that they're very financially involved with this person. There's contracts, they're reliant on each other, they're dependent on each other. The same way that this person knew that you in your relationship would grow to be more dependent on them, and they expected that to work in their favor. And so the universe now they're in that situation, and I think they were allowed to kind of go pretty far into that situation. Like there could be, they could own a house together where there's a contract. They could own a business together. They could have kids together. And where this person basically feels like they've been disrespected in this situation, and that if they had known what they knew about this karmic, they fell for it hook, line, and sinker is what I'm getting. Oh my gosh, I fell for this hook, line, and sinker, because I think this karmic cheated. That's what I really honestly think that it is for most of you. And it might have been, I just heard sneaky link. So they could have had a sneaky link for like even a long period of time. And for some, it's like an ex that this person is in love with. And it feels like this karmic had a very strong pull towards someone. And I think it could be, whatever it is, it's very powerful. And like I said, it could be an ex from their past. This is like first love, kind of energy. And they really wanted it to work out with that person, but it just didn't. And so they kind of moved on with their life, but they always like had a flame for that person, sort of thing. They could even have a kid together. For some, I feel like this karmic could be a type of person that puts relationships together with children. So they could have gotten pregnant really young, and that was just like the only way that they knew how to put together a relationship, or to manufacture that commitment and get someone to stick around for a long period of time, or to settle down in that. So like I said, they could have gotten pregnant really young, and then they were in some kind of tumultuous relationship. They could have even cheated on that person with this other, I don't know, with somebody else to have a baby. There could be a baby between them. I don't know. It feels like if it's somebody from their past, there's some kind of like strong tie of like, well, I always really wanted my family to work out, or I always loved this person. They just didn't have their shit together, and, or something here like that. And if it's not that, then I feel like it was somebody came into their life that they fetishize. They have something about them that they fetishize. So whether they're just like, maybe they're super rich, or it's like their boss at work and they're uber successful in their field or something, and they really respect and admire them. And, it's like that person, or it's a person with a certain trait that they've always fetishized. But this karmic takes the same position of like, well, you just don't understand this side of me, and I feel entitled to like have my cake and eat it too. And I think they feel bad that they were like called out, about it, but they kind of also felt comfortable doing it because they're like, well, what are you going to do about it? Like, you can't divorce me because we have all of these things, and you want to save face to like our community. You don't want people to know that this is what's going on in our family. It would embarrass you just as much as it's embarrassed me. Like they are now living out the situation that either they put you in, or that they were trying to put you in, or it had something to do with like a control mechanism. And it was something where they just felt like they didn't have to do right by you, that they were allowed to slip just a little bit. And there's something in this person's brain in the past, your person, where they were like, I mean, I'm doing like 98% of things right. It's just this 2%, right? And now like this person understands where you were coming from. I feel like totally and completely, because whatever this karmic did, which for most of you, I do think this is cheating, but whatever they did, even if it's not cheating, it was bad enough. And they understand. It's like, I just heard foul. I heard rotten to the core. Like they understand this is a character issue with this karmic. They understand that it is, it's not just a little whoopsie. This changes everything is what I'm hearing. Like this changes everything. Of course, I don't want to be around you. Of course, I don't trust you. And I feel like this karmic could be even, I don't know, taking a flippant attitude. That's not for all of them. But they felt like very entitled to whatever this was, I don't know. And this person understands it completely and they feel stuck. And that's, I think they thought in the past, especially because the feelings are genuine and sincere, they thought that when you hit that bump in the road, that they were totally fine with that being the position that you were in. And now they're living it out. And it's their guides are showing them basically, this is why we don't do this. Like this, it's not just a whoopsie 2% thing. It's like you were completely disrespected. You were completely disregarded. You were building under a certain assumption, weren't you? And that assumption turned out to be wrong. And you feel taken advantage of and you feel taken for a ride. And I do think this person was taken for a ride more than they were taking you for a ride. And that's where I think they feel victimized. And I do think that they were genuinely victimized here, because at least like in their situation, because you were a little bit better than them and they're a little bit better than this other person, like further along in their spiritual development, I think they thought, well, I'm not hurting you because I am sincere in my feelings. But I don't know. This karmic, it's not the same. They're not on that like same level. I'm not saying that they totally don't care about this person, but it seems like they care about something more. They definitely care about themselves, like a lot more. And at the very least, I feel like this person, your person that did this to you in the past, is realizing why you have to be careful with these things, because it's kind of like they're realizing, how were you supposed to know the difference of this person's feelings for you being very genuine and sincere, the connection that you had, the chemistry that you had being very genuine and sincere, and them being a total and complete liar? How are you supposed to know? Because I feel like they're in that situation now, or they were in the past, where they've had to look at their karmic partner that way and say, I don't know how to tell if you're what percentage full of shit you are. I don't know, because you lied. And I think, again, they could have lied for a very long time, and it's a big lie. And so I think this person's realizing they were telling themselves that it was a little lie, and they were making that decision for the both of you, and they knew that it affected you negatively. It didn't affect them negatively. So some part of them knew that you were going to have a different opinion about that, about how bad their transgression actually was, but now they're living it. And this person is recognizing that I just heard I had a really good girl. They had somebody who was dedicated to them, who they got along with on a lot of different levels, who was loyal. They're kind of realizing, I'm hearing like, you're worth the world. They're realizing you're worth your weight in gold. They're realizing that they should have just put up and shut up whenever they had you and just thank their lucky stars that God even allowed them to meet somebody like you. They are really realizing what they had in you. They really are feeling the loss of you. And I think this person is actually feeling really sad, and they're feeling really hopeless. And I know none of us want people to feel that way. We've all felt that way in our life. And it's like, okay, like just let them learn their karmic lesson and like hopefully move on from this. But yeah, this person is in a situation that it is hard to like navigate out of, and this person is meant to be grappling with these feelings so that they don't intentionally and knowingly put or allow, like lie by omission kind of thing, somebody else to be put in that position just because it's not them. It's not their problem. And it actually stacks the odds in their favor. They're learning that that's not a way to be in relationships. And I feel like this person on a soul level needed this. They needed to experience this firsthand. And that's exactly what they're getting. But this person has a lot of respect and a lot of admiration. And this is somebody I feel like from your deep past. Like for some of you, I feel like this is like, I just heard 15 or 20 years ago, but for some of you, it's like 10 years ago. Could even be like, I feel like this is longer term. Could be 5 years ago. Take it however it resonates. Like it's pretty long in the past. And I just heard I didn't know what I had when I had it. So yeah, I mean, this person just didn't recognize. And I think that would really shock you, because I think you knew. I just heard that you were giving girlfriend treatment, or you were giving wifey treatment, and you were maybe not this person's girlfriend, or you were not this person's wife, but you were showing up in that energy, and you cared. You both cared, but you were like acting on that care. And they're realizing that they should have returned the favor. They should have returned that energy. And I'm really getting so much regret in this person's space. And they could be trying to reach out to you. They could look up to see if like you're single or anything. And if it's too late, Yeah, this person might be trying to, I would be careful though, because I think this person might not want to get out of the situation that they're in until they've like secured the bag with you. But I think this person's learned too much to lie to you. But I don't know. I'm almost getting like in my head that this person wants to like meet you at a reunion and then kind of have a drink or something and then try to kind of pull you over to the side and then secretly tell you that they're miserable and just kind of read your reaction sort of thing. I don't know, because this person is in a delicate, precarious situation in some way with this karmic, because it's like they feel like they can't move unless they have to jump from one lily pad to another sort of a thing. I don't know. I'm just giving you a heads up on that. And I don't know where you stand like with this particular person, or even if you would know who this is specifically, but somebody here is having a change of heart about their own behavior. And it feels like it was a double whammy. It was like I'm seeing two tower moments like strike this person's heart. The first is finding out who this karmic really was and what was actually going on. I think that honestly shocked them. And that immediately made them think of you. And they kind of, okay, so I'm hearing myself say in another reading right now in my head that whatever this like a certain tower moment was, they immediately connected it with you. And I feel like this person immediately knew that that's what you felt like with them. And they immediately knew why you had to be so protective of yourself. And they knew. And so I feel like that's when this person was like, dang, I had a really good girl. Even if you're not a girl, like I had a really good guy. I had a really good something. I had a really good situation, and I really should have tried my all. I really should have made that work. And even if like they had messed up, they really should have tried to repair it. I feel like this person, if they did mess up, they're like, I really should have tried to like repair that situation. I should have groveled. I should have done anything to like really fix that situation, because I didn't know what I had when I had it. I just keep hearing that. So anyways, somebody here is recognizing what they had, and they are sorry, and they have learned their lesson. But there's always a skill involved, like learning the lesson, like seeing something from that different perspective. Now this person actually has to learn how to be the other way. Because I kind of feel like maybe both of these people, I kind of think they already had cheated on this karmic at least once. Maybe they had like calmed it down or settled it down or something. But because this person also operates in that way. And I think that, like where they kind of keep that blind spot. But there's a little bit of like pearl clutching of like, I do that. You're not supposed to do that. And it's something to do with the kind of person that they are versus the kind of person you were. And I think it has to do with gender. It's like, I do that, but I'm a man. And that makes me cooler, that I do that. It's like, and this person's like, oh my gosh, I really feel like they got their butt handed to them, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. And for some, this might be actually a repeat experience where they have been surprised that they were cheated on or something. And maybe, I don't know, it's culminated in some kind of pattern or something like that. But, there's been a learning and there's been a reckoning. And I think that's the point of this message. I think some of you really hoped that this person understood how much they hurt you. And maybe this person told you that you were crazy for throwing something away here, and they didn't understand. I think this person genuinely did not understand. This is why this is a learning. I think this person genuinely did not understand how you could throw something like this away. And maybe they thought you were the cold one. You were the callous one, or that they didn't mean anything to you. And that's why you threw this relationship away. And now they're realizing like, no, actually I have to protect myself here. Actually, I don't know what percentage full of shit you are. Like now they're going through in their own mind everything that you had to go through in yours. And they're understanding it. They get it now. They get it in a way that they didn't before. I honestly think this person couldn't fathom why you were walking away from them. They felt like you were throwing away a good thing. And maybe I think you understood that you had a lot of love for this person, and you thought that they had a lot of love for you, but then you didn't know how to trust it. And I don't think this person put in near enough effort to repair that situation. They get it now. They get the monumental effort that they would have to put forward, because they know what they need from that karmic, and they know something is like irrevocably broken. And I really think it's the way they look at this karmic. Like they just can't look at her the same, or him the same, whoever this is. They cannot look at this other person the same. And that's what was broken. And it wasn't a 2% whoopsie. It broke everything. And that's what they're starting to realize. All right. Anyways, if that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.